All right, guys, 2015 Ford Transit F250. We're gonna be doing spark plugs on this one. Now, if you look in there, you can see 3 of the spark plugs are right here. This is one bank, and then the other 3 are over here on this side. But if you look closely, they're all under the intake manifold. Now, this is the 3.7 liter engine, and the intake has to come off for the spark plugs. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna get to work. First, I'm gonna remove this intake, the air duct, and then we'll get to the intake manifold. So let me start taking some things apart here. Alright, so far this is where we're at. The intake boot came off. Some of these hoses, some of the harness came apart. Now the intake is ready to come apart. Now there's just a couple bolts here that you got to remove, and a couple bolts holding the intake on. Maybe something over here, I'm not even sure. I'm going to tell you guys like my instructor told me. If something is in your way, get it out of the way. That's pretty much how it is. So it's nothing too crazy, nothing difficult here. So I'm gonna set you guys back up, and we're gonna take off the intake manifold, and then once it's off, I'll show you guys everything I did, everything I took off to get it out of the car. All right, intake manifold is off. Now we can get to the plugs on this side. Now a little tip is just to move this little cover out of the way so you can get to the manifold bolts. And then the one that's going to be hard to reach is that one over there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 manifold bolts. And then there's a little bracket on this side holding it in. A couple hoses over here. The connector for the throttle body. I mean, you'll be able to see everything. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Right now what I'm going to do is change out the plugs, pop the new manifold back in. Usually when you get a manifold, you want to replace the intake gasket, but this one doesn't look like it's flattened out, and we didn't order one, so I'm just going to leave it as is. It's still in good condition. So right now we're swapping out plugs, and then the intake goes back in. Pretty simple. So let me set you guys up, and then we'll do the plugs right now. All right, here it is, 6 spark plugs. I'm about to pop the new ones in. I'm not sure how many miles are on this truck, but I think it was time for new plugs anyways. So yeah, not too difficult. These are the new plugs that I'm gonna put in there. For those of you that want to know, it's a Motorcraft Platinum, and here's the part number, CYFS 12F-5A. Okay, so for those of you that are curious about the part number, I'll type it in down here so you guys can see it, because I think the glare from the lights doesn't let you see it pretty clear. But here it goes, 6 spark plugs about to go right in, so let's go. All right, I don't know if you guys caught this, but this ignition coil right here, when I was taking it off, that bolt was really hard to take off, and it's because it was stripped onto the thread insert that's right there. So what I have left there is a little piece of the nut of the bolt that goes into the valve cover. So I'm gonna recommend a new valve cover on this side, but if they don't buy anything, I think it should be all right like this. But if they do want to do it, the good thing is that this is a side that's not covered by the intake, so it'll be easy to get to and easy to change if they do approve this. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's not like the coil is gonna jump out of there or anything. I'm gonna recommend it and see what happens, but right now I'm gonna put the intake back in and see how it runs after this. So back to work. right, everything's back together now. Now, one more thing. I did say there was 6 bolts for the intake manifold. There's actually 7. There's 2, 2, 2, and then there's one extra one in the middle, right behind, right by that chingadera. All right, so I'm gonna start it up right now, see how it goes, and then we're gonna go test drive this truck, and that's gonna be it. We're gonna call it a video. So let me see. All right, looks like it's running good. Go test drive it, make sure there's no check engine light, make sure it's not running rough, make sure that boot doesn't jump out of its hole, and then we'll call it a video on this one. So let's go. All right, guys, going on a little test drive. Truck feels good, stops good, drives good. For those of you that are curious, this truck has 102,000 miles on it, so it was time for spark plugs. After 100,000, I think it calls for this one. 2015 Ford Transit F250 with a 3.7. Yeah, I recommended the valve cover on this just because it's that bolt strip, and it's pretty much, well, it's pretty much a plastic insert on these. A threaded insert on these plastic valve covers. So I'm not one to repair the threads on it or put a plastic, put another insert in there. Just change the valve cover. They're not that expensive, and it's not my car, so come on. What is this guy doing? I think I just saw a drug deal go down. Whatever, not my problem. Anyways, what else? I'm gonna put a link to another video up here on the top right of the screen. It's on a Ford Mustang that I did, and it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same engine, same intake, same setup. The only thing is on that Ford Mustang, it is a lot easier because there's more room to work with. This Ford Transit has a little bit less space, but it's still not that, it's not that cramped. You know, I've seen cars that you can't get your hands in there to work with. This one's not too bad, but let me know if you guys like this whole the way that I'm doing my videos, because, or if you guys want to see like a step-by-step, bolt by bolt, nut by nut. You know, I just think that, like I've said before, guys, if you guys are working on cars, you should be able to put 2 and 2 together and say, all right, I got to take off this bolt because it's not moving. You know, it's pretty simple. I told you guys, like my instructor would always tell me, what's in your way? Well, to get to this, I gotta, you know, this is in my way. Well, take it off. If that's in your way, take it off. And pretty much that's how it is. The only thing, I guess, what a lot of people have problems with or have doubts with is, are they gonna be able to put it back together? And trust me, guys, if you guys take it apart, you will know how to put it back together, because you got yourself into that. You know, if somebody else takes it apart, you can still put it back together. Don't get me wrong, you can still put it back together no matter what it is, even if it's an intake, some heads, a whole entire engine. Once you do so many of one thing, you get that good at it, it's butter. It's fucking butter. So yeah, guys, if you guys made it this far to the end of the video, don't forget to drop that thumbs up on the video, share the video, and drop your comments in the chingadera below. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you work. Here's a question for you. Let me know where you work. Let me know what kind of car you see most often, because these Ford Transit F250s, this Transit Connects, this is what we get a lot of here, because we have fleet accounts with them. Several companies too, not just one company. And brakes, always brakes is always. Tune-ups once in a while. Yeah, let me know what you guys are working with that you see repetitively at your shop, or if you're doing yourself, or what's your car that your car you're always working on. Maybe you have a favorite car, I don't know. Drop it down in the comments below, guys. It is 5:40. I gotta go home. I gotta party. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Thanks for watching, guys.